Okay, so I've removed the hardware. You can see where they go there. The new hardware is going to cover up this hole. But like I said, this one over here, now the toilet paper is going to extend, so you really won't be able to see it, but I'm going to come back and sand that. And I'm going to patch that with some wood filler, and so that it's not noticeable. Now I'm on wood, so I'm just going to use the screws that were provided, and I'm just going to be going right through that thing and probably use these existing holes and screw that on and hold it there. So you're going to need some kind of a drill or a Phillips head screwdriver, and to put those screws in there. Now I do want to point out that this holder is open end, so the toilet paper slides on like so, and it uses this notch they have on the end to hold that toilet paper on. It works just fine. That notch right here is what holds it on. So the toilet paper kind of lays down on this, and the edge of the toilet paper roll catches that notch, and that's what holds it on. And I've tried it out; works really fine. We're gonna install one other thing. So if you're wanting to install it so that the opening is facing out, then you will have to undo this screw, pull this off, turn it around, put it back on. Otherwise, your Allen wrench, your little Allen nut, will be poking up and you'll be able to see it. So it's designed to face towards the back if it's going on the left-hand side. And of course, if it's going on the other side of your toilet, the right-hand side of your toilet, then it's designed to face out, right? So it depends on which side of the toilet. But you can undo that screw, pull this off, turn it around, clip it back on, tighten it in, and it will, so you can reverse this. All right, so the hardware is on, and this little guy is just gonna slip over just like that. There we go. And then I'll loosen that Allen wrench. I'll retighten this Allen wrench and hold that on there real firm. So that just, you back this little guy out, you make sure your Allen wrench is out all the way. That little silver screw that you see there, the Allen nut, and or bolt, whatever they call that thing, screw, I guess. And then you put that thing on there and you retighten it, and that will put that on just like that. And I chose the eye. Mine points towards the back, and you just come up here to slip that on, and there it is. If you choose for it to point towards the front, you just reverse that, and it'll point towards the front, which is the way that you probably want to do it. It looks better. It's better to have this towards the back and the little notch up here towards the front. It just depends on how much trouble you want to go through. I went ahead and turned it around so you could get a look at it from the other way. And so this is what she's going to look like with it sticking out the front. This is the way you want to install it if at all possible. It works just fine. I do find that one of the inconveniences, the toilet paper, if it slips below the base, it has a tendency to try to want to come off. When it's up there on top, it does fine, but as soon as you begin to pull it, it pulls off, and it's not the most, to be honest with you, it's not the most convenient, best I've seen. I kind of would rather, I like it where it's closed on both ends. So that's the only drawback that I see on this particular roller, is that when you begin to pull it, it could have a tendency to come off, although the edge catches it. As long as it's up like that, it looks really nice, but that's unrealistic to stay that way. All right, so she looks nice. She's metal, good and sturdy. We're gonna put the we're going to put the hand towel rack up, and also the little hooks. You can see the hooks are put on the same way. There's a little Allen wrench hole up underneath there. It's probably really difficult to see. And on each one, these are for the hang the towels. The hardware goes on the same. You could use a screw or glue. If you're going into sheetrock, you would use your little anchor, plastic anchor they give you, and just use a level to make sure that they're at the same height, especially if you're going to put them this close. For the hand towel rack to install, you are going to need measuring tape, not that big, of course, something to mark your holes with, and you're going to need to measure the distance between that hole and that hole. You're going to mark that distance, and you're going to make sure that those 2 points that you mark are level by using a level. Once you do that, then you can take this little bracket, both of them, put them up on that little dot, and then you mark these 2 holes. And as you can see, there's a little bit of forgiveness here. It's a slot rather than just a small hole. So it allows you to adjust this slightly like this. But you want to be as close as possible to the measurement as you can be. All right, so that's the rack installed. We measured the distance between the 2 center points of the rack. We measured the total distance of the wall, subtracted the 2, and that's how we got our distance of our first screw here. And then we just made sure that where the first screw went, the distance to the second screw was correct. We used a level to do that second dot, and then we put the brackets up on there. We put a little dot in the 2 holes and poked a hole using a Phillips head screwdriver. Make sure that the shaft of the screwdriver is not too thick, otherwise the anchor, the plastic anchor, won't go in there. It'll be loose. So you don't want to make the hole too big. And then you just use a little hammer to nail those anchors in. You attach your brackets, and there she is. She's a little hand towel holder.